Hello everyone, welcome again. Herkese merhabalar. Bugünkü panelimize hoş geldiniz. Bugünkü panelimizin adı Startup Dünyası ve Fırsatlarla Dolu Bir Ekosistem. Bugün
The startup world and a world full of opportunities. We have Nihan in here, but I want them to introduce themselves. Nihan from Turkey, welcome Nihan. And we have Safaa here with us from Morocco. Welcome. We have Yehia from Egypt. Welcome. And also we have Serdar. Welcome, Serdar. Hello to all of you. And I hope that this panel will be very efficient for all of us. Let me go with you shortly through the topics, and after that I will want you to introduce yourself and to tell us briefly what you are doing. And after that I will have a couple of a little bit more difficult questions for you. As all of you know already or not, that there is a lot of competition and there are a lot of challenges in our currently economical situations. And at this stage, of course, the underdeveloping countries are as their improvement strategies. They are trying to catch up with the stronger countries. They are trying to build up some resilience in terms of being economically more capable. And of course, on the other side, we have the R&D, research and development. It's an answer, it's a solution, but the utmost mission here is to be able to transform the commercial products. This is very important for us. And in order to speed up this process, we need the interfaces, we need the cooperations, we need the infrastructures, we need all of those things in place. And within this transformation, one of the keystones is to provide safely the products and the services to the market. Those are one of the keystones of the market. And we also have the entrepreneurs. Entrepreneurs are very, very of utmost importance in here. They need to go in parallel with the startup. And on the other hand, those fast-growing enterprises, they are accepted as the new power of the economy. The employment created, the dynamism that they bring to the marketplace, this is very important. Being innovative, being creative, being based upon technologies, a specialized human resources basis, and all of those values make those entrepreneurships as the main dominators of the global market. We have individuals who became role models, who have created their own startup, and we have a lot of growing stories of those startups and the crises, the issues, the challenges, the lessons that they took from their own challenges, and we want to know as much as possible about all of those. And I am employed as the science director under the ministry department.
Thank you so much, Mehmet. Thank you for having me. It's a very, very interesting forum which tackles my two passionate fields, which is urbanism and architecture, but as well as marketing and digital solutions. My name is Safaa Ouchen. I am an architect, CEO of MediAlaoui agency and the president of Annual Association. My passion is architecture and entrepreneurship. That's why I have founded the MediAlaoui agency, which is a marketing and communication agency specialized in helping small businesses and small entrepreneurs to have a presence in the digital field or on the digital in general. And because we are very conscious about the fact that digital, especially in Morocco, it's very expensive. If you want to have like a very good digital presence in social media or in the net in general, it costs a lot of money. And from this problem, especially with the coronavirus now, we know we have to be on the net if you want to be a successful business, but also if you want just your business to be viable. And that's why we have founded this agency with my partner, that we aim to help small entrepreneurs to have very good quality services, but affordable. But at the same time, we work with the municipalities, with the regions, with the political parties to establish digital and marketing and communication strategies for them. And for the records, we have participated in the election, because this last month was the election month in Morocco, and we have established the digital marketing and communication strategy for the top 3 parties in Morocco, which is the one that have won the elections. So to sum up what I'm doing, I am a passionate person about finding solution to the most eminent problems in my society in Morocco, but also I'm very aware that if we want to make a big impact on the economical, social, or the environmental level, we have to collaborate as global citizens. And that's why I was very interested when I got the invitation from Mr. Mehmet. I was very delighted and very happy and I said, yes, I want to be there. I want to get to know the community. I want to get to know my Turkish peers, my Arab peers, and my Middle Eastern peers, and from the international network, so we can work together on finding the best solutions for the most emerging problems in Morocco.
Safaa, I guess you put so much emphasis on internationalization or globalization process. Could you tell us more about your agency, and do you have any plans to expand abroad, maybe Istanbul, Turkey? What do you think about that?
Thank you so much, Mehmet, for this question. And I remember we exchanged some emails so I can talk to you and benefit from your experience, especially in the Turkish side, because yes, as a business and as an agency, we are very interested in getting our business international, because we know and we believe truly that it's very needed today to be on digital and to have the tools to fight whatever we're fighting as a problem. For the records, we already operated in Shanghai, and in Hong Kong we have 2 projects there about what we call DOOH, advertisement out of home. And we have developed this solution called Drivebox, which is how we can use so many hours people spend in taxis from point A to point B to have those tablets on the cabs that they can have ads on different brands, especially small businesses, because that's our vision, is just help small businesses to have the best, I would say, exposure to the world outside. And we also have a project that we run in Dubai. It's called Elite Global Trading Academy, and this is one of our side projects that we work on with our partner in Dubai. And yes, our aim is to help especially the MENA region with our expertise, because I can hear that yes, digital is very expensive, so how can we as a young agency to make it affordable when the equipment are very expensive, the human resources are very expensive. So everything is about the business model itself and how we're operating. And I would say that's the secret that I'm not going to tell you today, but this is our secret recipe, how we can make a very affordable quality services, but still affordable for our target clients. And yes, we're very interested in getting more support and getting more collaborations in Turkey and the MENA region, in Europe and abroad. And I think, but I believe truly that this need is very much sensed, especially in the developing countries where we have like a kind of a problem. We want to be in digital, but at the same time we cannot afford it. And this is how we imagine the solution is going to be implemented. So yes, please, I want to make as much contacts today as possible. I'm very present in LinkedIn. We're very present in social media, and I would love to hear from the other experiences and see how we can make this collaboration happen.
Okay, Safaa, thank you. I'll put a comma to our conversation, and I'll switch to Serdar Bey, and I'll continue in Turkish because, by the way, Serdar Bey may be a good contact point for you to expand abroad to Turkey, I can tell you.
Nice to meet you, Serdar Bey.
Serdar Bey merhabalar. Öncelikle hoş geldiniz.
Hello, Serdar. First of all, thank you very much for accepting our offer. Thank you very much for being here with us. First of all, can you shortly introduce yourself, and especially, what can you tell us about T3 Association and T3 Foundation? Thank you very much for organizing this, and thank you very much for inviting us. Welcome to all of you. I'm Serdar Gürbüz. I am in the executive membership of T3 Association. We are kind of young associations, but we have a lot of activities. We are working for long-term support, for supporting on the long term the entrepreneurship. And also we are an investment company. Professionally, we are working in here. So if I need to speak a little bit broadly about our foundation, I want to tell you that especially the youngsters and the people who are in the high school, they need to be, we have programs for their education. And one of the most common programs are our tech workshops for middle grades and for high school students. We have different stages of assessment and evaluations. We have preparation for a 3 years curriculum, and we are doing app developing, cyber security, artificial intelligence. So we have curriculum on all of those different areas. We have different workshops, and after their completions, the students are graduating, and after that we have the tech competitions, and they can continue as entrepreneurships in their lives. What I'm meaning by tech competitions, so we gather those individuals at an early age, and we try to support them in those areas. And we are trying to assess the requirements that we see in our institution. We have teams both in high school and at the college level. This may apply to Turkey or to different areas of the world. And while they are attending to those tech competitions, a lot of their requirements are met. We, as a foundations, we are trying to support them. When we look at their age, we see mid-school, high school, and college level students. We are working with all of that. We are also working with seniors. So here, under the umbrella of T3 Foundation, we are trying to support everyone at different stages, both during the conceptual stages and during the implementation stages. And we provide different contributions and support on different topics. During the first years, we provide them educations and trainings on different topics. We have different formats. And after that, we created an investment fund. And we enabled the investments through those entrepreneurships for individuals who need those investments in order to facilitate their businesses. And most of all, maybe we can support our college. We may select our colleagues, the senior colleagues, during their college years, and we may educate them and provide them trainings to become even better entrepreneurships. we can merge and gather together with the successful entrepreneurships, and we try to provide contributions. And lastly, we have TechnoFest, the technical festival, which is one of the most important organizations of our foundation. And in 2019, we have more than 1 million participants, and we organized the fourth this year at the Istanbul airport. And we had the International Entrepreneurship Summit this year. And we had both Turkish and international participants. We have hosted a lot of entrepreneurships and mentors. We enabled them to have contacts with international investors. And after the year presentation, they found the opportunity, they had the opportunity to receive investments from foreign participators. We also have a rewarding here. We offered rewards. So I want to say that entrepreneurship is a global concept. It's not only applying to Turkey or a specific country. It's not just starting in a given country, but is a part of an ecosystem. So we can detect the missing parts in here. And through our International Entrepreneurship Summit, we are trying to support both the local and the international entrepreneurships. And this year in our organization, we had entrepreneurships from 28 countries, and we have 7% foreign and 30% local participation. We wanted to create a synergy between the entrepreneurships, and we wanted to ensure benefitful and efficient cooperations. We wanted to become a bridge. Thank you very much, Serdar. Safaa.
Passing to Nihan Hanım. How is it to be a women entrepreneur? Have you experienced any problems, pros and cons? Did you have any memories, good or bad? Could you please tell us about that?
Yeah, of course. I would be lying if I say I haven't faced any issues with that. Especially when you're young and a woman. Unfortunately, I am not happy to share this, but I think it's very important to talk about this. I remember in my first job, I was attending this meeting with at least just 50 years and up, and I was the only one who had 25 years old, and I was the only woman. They were all men with mustache, and they were very competent. I wouldn't say the opposite, but I feel like they wouldn't take my presentation in serious, and they would question everything that I would come up with as an idea. And I think this is a challenge that all women in the world, not specifically in Morocco or in Turkey or anywhere else, where as someone said, if you don't have a chair in the table, just create another table and add your own chairs. So this is basically what I'm doing. I'm just trying to make a chair in the table that I want to be sit in, and not waiting for other people to just give me the chair. The challenges mostly are about doubting the fact that because you're a woman, you can be kind of sensitive and you wouldn't have a clear judgment when it comes to business. And this is, I would say, something that a whole society should work on, not only the entrepreneurial ecosystem, but it's more like something rooted in the culture, in the tradition, and in the mindset of the people. Thankfully, for example, in my work with the annual association, we work on this program called DigiGirls, which is Girls in Digital. And we try to empower young girls aged between 15 and 18 years old to get interested in STEM field, to get interested in digital field, and try to come up with projects that help the community. And this has a very huge impact, especially when I talk to their parents. They say, wow, I couldn't imagine that my daughter, who has 15 years old, can make application and websites and can learn about digital. So I think it's our responsibility today as society to educate our generation. I wouldn't say only boys or girls, but all people together about the fact that it's not our gender or religion or where we come from or where we're going define how clever we are. I'm sorry, just the train passing by. How clever we are and how important our decisions are, but it's mostly what we have in mind and what our ideas are basically providing as solutions to our society. For the pros, I would say it's a very good exploration field. I like when I see other women supporting other women in their trip or in their adventure in entrepreneurship. And today, this kind of talks and this kind of events makes us share our experiences and learn from our experiences. And I'm sure we were all...
Safaa, you are muted.
Oops, sorry. Yeah, I was saying today this sharing experience will allow us to take the best practices that I will learn from you and try to implement it in a Moroccan context and vice versa. And this is the hope and this is the vision of actually what we're doing today. So if I can sum up my experience with entrepreneurship, it started very early. I think even early that I would think when I was little, like 5 years old, I will sell lemon on the door of our door, like our house door, and just for the neighbors and my friends. And eventually we ended up just drinking it. But I would say that was my first entrepreneurial experience. And then when I was in the school, in the architecture school, I did my first startup ever that failed eventually. I think I was having a hard time to accept that I failed in this startup. But now when I look back at it, and I'm like, I'm kind of proud, and I learned so much from that failure. And it helped me just overcome the fear of failure and just embrace it to learn more. And that's why today in MediAlaoui agency, we're exploring so much. We don't consider ourselves that we know everything, but we're just testing and exploring and prototyping and just hear from the others and hear from the need of the population so we can come up with better solutions.
Yeah. Thank you, Safaa. That was wonderful to hear from
Thank
you.
you so much.
And I'm now going to Nihan Hanım. Nihan Hanım merhabalar yeniden. Hoş geldiniz.
Nihan, welcome. Of course, we'll be talking about AVVA. AVVA is growing so fast, and I hope that it is already an international brand. We are always saying that AVVA is very good, but I mean, we are very curious about what happened like 10, 20 years ago. But first of all, we want to hear your story. Thank you very much for gathering us together through this organization. I'm the executive member of the brand. Yes, we have a very long past of our brand, and we have very strong foundations. We strived a lot, we worked a lot for this brand. We started as a family company with textile, but now in retail, we have the heritage of our father. It was a lady garment, and we are selling abroad. We had a store. This is our system. And after my brother graduated the college, it has a name in his month. So this is the brand. This is the name of the brand. It is formed from the initials of Atik volcan. AVVA comes from the initials of the name of my brothers. And after he graduated, he started to think, what can I do newly? And at the start of 20s, I was at the college during this time. And we started this process together. First of all, we focused on international area until 2007, and we had an operation in States. We had more than 600 sales points, and we came at a point where we thought to open a store in Turkey. We did that back in 2007. Of course, it was very enthusiastic. But suddenly we faced different challenges, as it is with all the startups. but we overcame those challenges. But our brand managed to stand at the threshold of different crises and challenges. We overcome all of those challenges, and at the current point, we have more than 1,000 sales points abroad. We are selling mostly to the Turkish republics and to the Middle East. We have presence in 16 countries, and within countries, we have more than 100 sales points in Turkey. Other than that, we have 92 stores, and also we launched again in Istanbul, another store today. We are continuing to move on, and we want to be one of the leader brands on male garment. And we have a clear vision on this topic. Along of our investments that we do abroad, we started to have revenues from the things that we do in Turkish. So this is pretty much all. Okay.
Speak in this panel. Could you, please introduce yourself, and could you please tell us about your company, Rain? What do you do, and how is everything going in your side?
Sure. Thank you, Mehmet, for the invitation, and hello to everyone. My name is Yehia Badawy. I'm one of the co-founders of Rain, and Rain is a cryptocurrency company. We have a presence in the GCC or Middle East, and we also recently have presence in Turkey. Our company enables people to buy, sell, and store crypto assets or cryptocurrencies, which I know in Turkey is a hot topic and a big point of discussion. And my focus in the company is on business development and policy. I think in Turkey, in the coming months, we will see some regulations coming out specifically for the crypto asset or cryptocurrency industry. We're excited to continue pursuing those efforts and hopefully being licensed very soon in Turkey once the regulations are out.
As you said, cryptocurrency is a different path to follow your career. Why did you choose to continue your career as a startup in cryptocurrency area when there is like millions of other areas in the world?
Yeah, good question. I sometimes ask myself that question too. But my interest in crypto assets or cryptocurrencies started in 2012, so about 9 years ago. And when I first learned about them, the idea was very compelling for me. It was something that I found very interesting. I found that the technology is quite innovative. It brings a new idea, and it's also a new way to think about value and how value exists and how it moves from one place to another. This kind of business is actually more tough than others when it comes to getting started. If you want to operate and you want to operate legally, you need to work with different parties. So those parties include central banks, capital markets boards or authorities, banks themselves, ecosystems. So there is a lot of lobbying involved and bringing the point of view of the industry to those who are in the ecosystem. And through those discussions, it was clear that there is still a lot of work to be done on crypto, and that seemed exciting to me and my co-founders. So we attempted to launch the company in several countries until we started working with the Central Bank of Bahrain, and we have an entity there that is currently serving the GCC. Personally, I think this is going to be something that we will see more of and we'll continue using more. It still needs to be made more user-friendly. You don't need to understand how the technology works in order to use it. And then on the regulatory side, I think governments will start to understand this more, and they will start to introduce regulations to enable more innovation.
Okay. I think Rain is the first company that got the license or permission from the Central Bank of Bahrain. Then you expanded abroad and you had presence. You have now presence in so many countries. How did your life change when you expanded abroad and you have this several locations all over the world? Because isn't it hard to just cover all of these places?
It's a challenge, that's for sure. But it's also exciting when you see that there's potential for this idea to grow in other places. And I remember when we first met with you back when we were with Invest in Istanbul office in 2019. At the time, Turkey was still new to us, and we were learning about the country and the ecosystem. But what we found is there is a clear opportunity for us to compete in the market. So it's a matter of structuring your moves in a way that you take smaller steps faster instead of taking bigger steps at a slower pace. And that's basically what we did. You start to learn about the market, you reach a point of confidence or detail about the market, and you start moving forward versus having a big project for 2 years and planning some expansion and then taking steps. This way you learn faster, you pivot faster, or you change your course faster, and you have a higher chance of success.
Thank you very much. I'll come back to you, Yehia. Serdar Bey, son birkaç soru daha sormak istiyorum. Bu sizlerin...
Mr. Serdar, I want to ask you some questions. This in Science Üsküdar Center, you have a center there, and what kind of opportunities do you provide there? For example, if any company or any person comes to you, what can they expect and what kind of opportunities do they find there? Again, I want to mention Takeoff to begin with. As an award, we are providing some awards, giving some awards for some foreign investors and entrepreneurs. If they open up an office in our site, for example, we provide them with some opportunities such as counseling and mentoring, and they can actually improve themselves and grow much faster. And again, we provide a support for living in Turkey. For a year, we provide them with 1,000 euros a month. And if they open up their offices in Turkey, they can get the advantage of these opportunities. And there are a lot of companies who opened up offices in Turkey because of this. And when you look at different centers and different offices, they are offering some valuable awards or some support system in a way in other countries such as England or, different countries. However, when you look at Turkey with the young population, you don't even need to explain all the opportunities for the entrepreneurs, because it is a very beautiful opportunity in terms of geographically to begin with, and because of the young population. So entrepreneurs actually have an easier time here in Turkey. And in this regard, whether it is local or national or international, we don't care. We don't look at where they come from. We just want them to be active in Turkey. We want to include them in the production. We want to include them in the R&D areas. We always provide opportunities for both international entrepreneurs and local entrepreneurs likewise. We just want to make the connection between entrepreneurs from all around the world and also open the doors to the outside world for the Turkish entrepreneurs. And it is not an easy job. For example, when you look at the entrepreneurships in Europe or the United States, we kind of convince them to come and see the opportunities in Turkey. They have to discover Istanbul. They have to discover what kind of technologies, what kind of engineering infrastructures are here. And there are some unicorns that are popping up, and this was something expected, of course, but these are continuing increasingly. And I believe that when you look at entrepreneurship, in order for this field to improve itself, you need investors, you need entrepreneurs, and you need an education system that backs up this whole system in the background. However, as Turkey is a country that got a late start in this area, I believe there are some disadvantages. There had been some disadvantages, but these are really good indicators for foreign investors and foreign entrepreneurs, especially because they can see this improvement in Turkey and they can see the potential. However, you know, the potential is not just there for the local or national entrepreneurs. It is also open to the global world. So I think it's a good opportunity to be discovered. I wanted to say AVVA did not reach this level overnight. There has been a huge support from all of the family. And when you look at startups and entrepreneurs, they expect to be at the level AVVA is or RAIN is overnight in just a couple of months, a couple of days. They have this dream to be at your level. What are some of the lessons you learned from being in this field, and what can you recommend for them, Nihan? Well, I think patience is key, and keeping up with innovations. If you're a startup, of course, some of them can reach success overnight, and some of them have to be really patient, and some of them really want more than what they got. And this is, I think, one of the key factors in reaching for that goal, because you have to want it really bad. Whatever meeting we had, we always talked about becoming the best in Turkey in our field, and we had to do everything in our power, because this is not just about the support we get from the family members. We have professionals from outside, and they had great effort in bringing us to where we are right now. So it is really important to include professionals in, especially in family businesses. So you have to respect their opinions, you have to learn from them and improve yourselves. It is really valuable, of course, but patience is key, innovation is key, and in today's world, you cannot really miss the opportunities. You know, digital world, you have to keep up with the digital world, and even for a brand like ourselves, digital world is everything. So you have to keep up with it. You have to improve and develop your productions, your products along with that, and you can become a valuable asset yourself.
It is not that easy to come to a spot that is like $1 million company or something. In today's world, the startups or the newcomers are always just yearning for having a unicorn in only a couple of years. So it's not that easy. Could you please tell us the lessons you learned in your journey as a startup? And do you have any recommendation or advice for startups and for the newcomers?
Sure, and what I will share is obviously unique to myself and our experience, but I think there are a lot of common lessons that you come to learn one way or another, whether from people and their advice, and you remember that advice and you follow it, or you have to go through the lesson yourself. I think today more than ever, it's easier to start a project, to collaborate with people, to communicate with them, to get something started. You're no longer constrained by any physical limitations. It's important, as Nihan said, to work on something that you're passionate about and something that you feel is worth investing your time and effort in. So I would say, first of all, pick the right problem to solve and make sure it's something that you really want to work on, because it's not easy investing all your time and effort and energy into something that you're not excited about. I would also say it's good to be ambitious. So try to channel this ambition in a way that is productive. Wishing to have a unicorn in 2 years is maybe not a bad thing, but you need to know that it takes time, it takes patience, and it's not bad to have big dreams and to be bold in how you view things, as long as you're aware of the risks and you're measuring them accurately. I'd also say act and take steps. It's okay to talk and make business plans and presentations, but at some point you have to take action. And the advice I would say there is to make whatever the next step is as small as possible. And this way you have a higher chance of taking that step and doing it. So instead of saying, okay, I'm going to launch a product next month, why don't you say, I'm going to talk to 3 people who work in this industry tomorrow. And then from that, you start to do some more research, you perhaps meet someone that's interested, you work together, and then you get to that bigger step. But you should always have the big vision and the big dream, as you said. But then when you think about your to-do list or what you need to do today, make sure it's as immediate as possible for you to actually take that step.
Thank you, Yehia, for this answer. Serdar Bey, aslında benzer bir soruyu size soracağım. T3 Vakfı.
I want to ask you, Serdar, about T3 Foundation. You have supported a lot of startups and you have provided mentorships, for example, for them. What are your recommendations for startups and newcomers? Well, I'm not an entrepreneur myself, you know. It is my experience is or my recommendations are mainly based on outside experiences of other people. I have been working in this area for maybe the last 8 years, and I have talked and spent time with a lot of entrepreneurs and startup owners. And from Turkey and on a global scale, the best entrepreneurs and startups usually have things in common. And the most common thing is that they have a belief. They believe in something, and they are really consistent about getting what they want. What I mean is not just daydreaming or, you know, having a faint dream about reaching something. They actually believe that they can reach this level they want to achieve. So this kind of belief and that sparkle in their eyes, you can always see that in an entrepreneur's eyes. And if you have any doubt, or if there are other people in their team who don't share that same passion or that same belief, they usually fail. So what I mean by fail is that they can no longer continue on their entrepreneurship. And the market could be ready, all the opportunities could be laying in front of them, but the people you work with, they should share the same belief, they should have that spark in their eyes, and I think this is one of the most important things in getting what you want. And you have to have a clear target in their minds, and also you have to have that support system next to you. You know, you have to have the people that share the same belief as you. And there are some different responsibilities that come along with aging, and this is also something that discourages people, especially when they are trying to become entrepreneurs at a later age, for example, as this is a very dynamic and young area. People might be discouraged because of that. But the support system, like I said, is actually the team you have with you is very important because of that reason. It is like a marriage, you know, working with people is almost like a marriage. You touched upon very important topics, I think. It is not easy to become an entrepreneur yourself, especially if you're a woman, for example. That's another topic we can talk about. And thank you very much. I believe we have shared a lot of valuable information and we shared our experiences. Do you have anything you want to add, Mr. Yehia or Serdar or Nihan? We appreciate if you have any contributions. Otherwise, I will be closing this session. Okay, then. Well, thank you for your patience and thank you for sharing your valuable opinions and experiences with us. We are closing the session, but this forum will continue for another 2 days, and hopefully we will get a lot of things to learn and fruitful sessions. So have a good day and bye.